Hi, I'm Zoe Diego. This is my theory, competency number 2, and I'm going to be talking about the face negotiation theory. So, Stella Toomey's face negotiation theory helps explain cultural differences in responses to conflict. Stella Toomey is a communication professor at the California State University. She assumes that people of every culture are always negotiating face. So face is the projected image of oneself in a relational situation and is also seen as our public self-image or how we want the world to view and treat us. So for example, we might have a student in like one of our classes who has like a hard lifestyle or a hard home life, but when they attend class or school, they want to come off as a cool, collected, so their classmates believe that they have everything under control and that what is going on at home isn't seen through in them when they come to class. And it's more of seen as something else of what they want the world to view them as. Face work refers to the specific verbal and nonverbal messages that help to maintain and restore face laws. It also to uphold and honor face gain. So Ting Toomey bases her face negotiation theory on the distinction between collectivism and individualism. According to Harry Trinides, a psychology professor at the University of Illinois, the three important distinctions between collectivism and individualism cultures are the different ways members perceive their self, goals, and duty. So this is seen as how in different cultures we express ourselves differently or more unique. It defines what separates us and stands us apart from other cultures, just how one views their self, their goals, and their duties compared to how we do the same thing, how we obtain our goals. So in a collectivistic culture, people identify with a larger group that is responsible for providing care in exchange for group loyalty, also seen as a high context culture, as compared to an individualistic culture is a low context culture where people look out for themselves and their immediate families. So there are also multiple faces of a face known as face concern, which is in regard to self face, other face, or mutual face. The second face is face restoration, the self-concerned face work strategy used to perceive autonomy and defend against loss of personal freedom. And finally, face giving, which is used to defend and support another person's need for inclusion. So to connect all these terms together, the difference between these are not absolute. All people desire affiliate. Sorry, I rewrote this down. I'm trying to just get it together. So all people desire autonomy and affiliation within their particular society. The cultural difference is always a matter of degree. So through all the face giving, face concern, and face restoration, we all perceive and obtain those needs differently. And I think it's more the understanding of how we understand others compared to our own, because obviously, we see our own faces and our own goals, needs, standards to be right versus how maybe in other cultures we see it more as wrong, or not necessarily wrong, but different and not fully understanding of how they perceive themselves, how they have come off of their own face. But I found this really interesting, and I think it did compare back to my first theory competency, but just how the world is so different and how we need to understand others better and know what they're going through versus just understanding our own. Because if we only understand our own selves and how we do things, we'll never grow in the world. We'll never grow as the human race. I think that I think the world needs to change in the sense of understanding each other, and not just in America, in the world. We need to understand how others do things and how what they think is right versus what they think is wrong, and understand that. And when we do go and visit their country or their state, their area, we have to abide by their rules, their norms, because we're in their area, we're in their territory. And when they come to America, yes, they abide by our rules and what we believe is right. So, but yeah, that's all I have. Thank you, and yeah.